Hello, and thank you for choosing to click this link. My name is El and I am alright. Okay, today I just want to answer the question: is divorce better than separation? Is divorce better than separation? Well, I cannot just say yes or a no. This is the reason why. If your separation is for a specific time and the purpose of your separation is to review the marriage, is to assess the marriage and make the right decisions and make the proper decisions, right? With the help of counselors, therapists, friends, and different materials. If that is the reason for your separation, then separation is better than divorce. However, if the purpose of your separation is more or less like, there are some people who separate, like many of my colleagues and my friends say that a lot, that many poor people separate from their spouse because they cannot afford the divorce. If they could afford the divorce, they would have divorced. But because they cannot afford the divorce, so what do? They just separate, and they just separate for life. They never reconcile. Like they never, when they were separated, they never had intentions of reconciling. They just moved out from the marriage, and the plan was to move out for life. Some of them move out expecting their spouse to be the one that should fight for divorce. Like they don't want to take the blame that they are the ones that fight for divorce. They want to put the blame on their spouse. So they just move out expecting you to fight. If you never fight, no problem. They will continue their lives. Some move out like that and end up marrying somebody else, right? Or they end up having a romantic affair with another person for life. Maybe they don't even marry that person, but they just start cohabiting with another person for life. Now, if that is the type of separation we are talking about, then the divorce is better. Some people have said, well, let's separate. You never can tell. Perhaps in the future, one of us may change our mind. This may change our mind and we'll choose to come back together. Well, you could also choose to remarry each other if you divorce. So there's no big deal in you saying, okay, let us divorce. If tomorrow we choose to remarry, we'll come back and remarry. We have seen many situations. You could go online and check online and just search in the search engines to check people who have divorced and remarried. You see a good number of people who have done that. So it is not only through separation you could come back to reconcile. If you divorce, you could actually come back and remarry. So these are the reasons why I cannot particularly tell which of them is better, whether divorce is better or separation is better. Divorce would be better if you have moved on. You have moved on emotionally, you have moved on physically, right? Because you don't want to be caught committing a crime against the civil laws of society, or committing a sin against your religious beliefs and religious practices if you separate from your spouse and then you are not involved in extramarital affairs, right? So that the fact that you are separated from your spouse and you guys have been separated for several years does not justify or give you the grounds to also be involved in extramarital affair, because in the eyes of the law you are still married, right? So, and I always say is that the first two purposes that I believe marriage is for, the primary purposes that marriage is for companionship and sexual satisfaction. Yes, you want to now bring in things like procreation, but those are not the first two things. The first basic needs in our lives that make us want to marry, that prepare us to want to marry, that should make us want to marry, should be the need for companionship. And Adam was alone, and it was not good for the man to be alone. Should be for companionship and also for sexual satisfaction. Sexual satisfaction in the sense that for many of us and many of our religious beliefs, people like me who are Christians, and for many others who may be Christians, Muslims, or may practice other religions, we do not accept and approve of sexual activities outside marriage. So because of that, because sex is a basic human need, and sex is a basic human need, right? The need of companionship and the need of sex overrides the need of procreation and the need of the social status and every other thing which comes along with marriage. So this is just what I want to tell you today regarding it, which is better. Divorce is better if you are separating with the purpose of never returning. Divorce is better. But if you are separating with the purpose of reviewing the marriage and considering whether you can still go on with the marriage or not, and seeking expert advice and expert counsel and expert help from outside the marriage and protecting yourself from danger by stepping out from the marriage, if there's a reason why you're separating, then separation is better. This is why I said that it is a particular situation that will make us determine which of them is better. My name is El and I'm alright. Thank you so much for following to the end. Remember to subscribe, share this with your friends so I get to learn the same things that you are learning. Remember that birds of a feather flock together, right? So if your friends are not sharing the same mindset with you, if they are not sharing the same views with you, evil communication can easily corrupt good manner. Thank you so much for following. Now remember to subscribe. You rock.